So a lot of people are dying in Manchester, okay, in the
Oh,
UK. A lot of
okay.
people are dying in Manchester. A lot of people are dying in a particular way in Manchester. A lot of particular type of people are dying in a particular type of way
This is
in
starting to sound like
Manchester.
a nursery rhyme. Or like, what's that
Well,
that
there,
Raffi song where it's like a
the,
tree and a
I
hole
know
and a
the
hole in
one,
the
yeah.
ground?
But let the similarity end there, all right?
Okay,
Because
okay.
what is going on in Manchester, or what you might think is going on, from a certain perspective, lends itself, I think, to one particular outcome, to one theory. I mean, um, Manchester may or may not. Well, I'll let you draw your own conclusions. It's a canal city. Yes, Manchester
Hmm.
is a city surrounded by and shot through with canals. And what if I were to tell you? Well, why don't you guess for me? Since 2007, how many people do you think in a city? Do you know how big Manchester is? Can you visualize how big a place it is?
No, I can't really. I think I've read that it's very walkable, so I assume it's like a
Yeah.
small-ish city, but a city nonetheless.
So just stick your finger in the air and check the direction of the wind and guess for me. Since 2007, how many people would you think it'd be realistic to have died in those canals?
So that's what, 13 years-ish?
13 years, yeah.
13 years of people dying in canals.
Yeah,
I don't know, 30?
right. Okay, well, I'm glad you went low because it's actually 77, right?
That's too many people.
77 people. It seems like a lot, doesn't it?
Also, you're right.
Since
This is nothing like the Raffi song unless it was like there was a body
now
in the
it's,
hole and the
yes,
green
it's
grass
ended.
grew all around.
Nothing like it at all. I don't know Raffi even is.
I'll introduce you to him later. Great guy, great guy.
Good.
Anyways,
We'll
okay,
we'll do it. We'll
77.
do an episode on him. You can't be as good as Carman, I'm sure. 77 people in Manchester have washed up in the canals. Okay, and all right, fair enough. In and of itself, maybe not that shocking. People
I mean,
walk
that's
home
kind of
alone.
shocking. That's a lot of people.
A lot of them were young men.
Hmm.
A lot of them showed no signs. Were healthy young men. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
Healthy young men with no signs of a struggle.
Mm.
Just healthy young men showing up in the canal.
Hmm.
Uh, every time a new young man or anyone drowned in the canal is found in the canal, fished out of the canal, the rumors begin again.
Oh
Is it the
boy.
pusher, the
The
Manchester
pusher.
Canal pusher? Um, Now, look, you can apply Occam's razor to this, and arrive at the conclusion that it is just drunk men walking home on nights out and falling to their
I
death.
guess. I mean, that still, it feels like a lot of like young men by
Mm.
themselves falling in just because they're
Mm-hmm.
little tippers. But okay,
Yeah,
yeah, let's say that is the
but
reasonable thing.
in the short time afforded to us here, we're not going to get to the bottom of whether there is or isn't a Manchester pusher. But there are so many things that kind of stick out. I mean,
Okay.
Britain. You may or may not know that Britain is one of the most heavily blanketed in CCTV countries
Hmm.
in the world. Right? We are
Oh,
fucking.
you
We
guys
are
are all about your surveillance,
fanatics.
huh?
We absolutely love it. And despite being blanketed in CCTV,
Hmm.
none of these people dropping into the canals is caught on Manchester CCTV. It always happens out of the glare of the camera.
Hmm.
Um, the last mention, the last kind of resurface, it's kind of like Pennywise, this guy, and the last mention of the Manchester push was in 2018, when a hitherto perfectly healthy 19-year-old lad was dredged up out of the canal. In April of 2018, a lone cyclist reported being rushed by a crazy figure who tried to push him into one of the canals. Uh,
Oh.
yes, indeed. The
So
cyclist
was
sped
there the
off, no one was
mythology?
apprehended.
Oh, did that start the mythology? That did then people go, oh, maybe this has been, or had that already been
Well,
a thing?
no, it's already been a thing. I mean,
Okay.
the whispers of the Manchester pusher have been around a long ever since at least 2007 when we
Hmm.
started talking about this time frame. Obviously, police completely deny it and point to other mitigating circumstances, like there's a commensurate death rate in Amsterdam, another
Hmm.
city of canals.
Is it the
Um,
same size as Manchester?
you ask an excellent question.
I have questions. I want to get to the bottom of
The
this
population of
Manchester
Population of Manchester is 553,000. Surely
Okay.
not. Sure, it's going to be more.
That's a little smaller than Anaheim.
And Amsterdam is a lot bigger. So Manchester is in fact smaller.
So wait, what was the number for Amsterdam? A lot bigger. It's not.
820 odd thousand.
So,
So quite a bit bigger. Quite a bit bigger. So it feels to me as though Manchester's, again, I'm not a statistician, I'm not, but it feels as though Manchester's canal-based death rate should be a lot smaller.
What about before 2007?
I'll have to get the microfilm, I'll have to go into the town archives and check out the microfilm.
I'm sorry, I have so many questions about this. I spent the entire week listening to a podcast about true crime, part of which was based in Manchester, and therefore I'm now just like, I just want to solve every Manchester crime, apparently, or non-crime. I don't know, whatever this is.
Some papers have gone on to ask that question. There's an interesting rule. This has just occurred to me. I can't remember the name of the rule, but it states that if a headline on a newspaper or a website asks a question of any sort, the answer will invariably be no. That's what I want you to keep in mind when you see a very kind of bold headline asking a question. It will take you no time at all to answer it. No, it's always a no. And it's worth telling that the Daily Mail article did actually pose that question: is there a Manchester pusher? So
and so the answer is probably
standards of journalism would beg not.
But if it is, go ahead.
If there is, my word,
what an MO!
What an MO! An excellent MO. I think other would-be serial killers would kick themselves at that robust.
Why didn't I think of it? Just push a dude into the canal and
push a dude, nick off.
All mostly the same age and all mostly men. I don't know, maybe men are clumsier than women. I have no idea. But if you were a serial killer, and you were like, what's a way that I can do this? Figure out where the CCTVs are.
It's worth mentioning that a fair number of these the most recent people who have vanished have had open verdicts recorded on their deaths, so we were never able to completely tie the case off.
So is that to say like they don't know that the person simply drowned? They might have yes there might have been other foul play in
may have been a struggle, may not have been. An open verdict is the term, so they're not going to properly put full stop on the end of it. In that terminology. A couple of the parents of some of the quote-unquote victims go along with this idea that there's a killer out there and that the cases need to be looked at in that way. So the question rests with you, Corrigan, not coming to this cold. Is there a serial killer in Manchester? Who knows? I don't.
I think we need to go use you as bait.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
that is a terrific idea.
Have you dressed like a young hip Mancunian and walk along the canal, little tippers, away from CCTV, and I will watch and make sure to fish you out.
I'm not very steady on my feet tonight.
Very, very drunk. I could just be blown over like a feather in the wind.
It's a good idea. It's a good idea.
I think it's foolproof. Let's do it.
I'll do it for our 1-year Joe anniversary. We'll flash out
can't wait.
The Mancunian splasher, whatever his name is.
Stay tuned, Joag.
Yes, we root out the damp splasher of Manchester.